everybody, and welcome to Run to the Hills bonus show. This week, it's all about the Adidas Terrex kit. We talk shoes and apparel with Rowan Axe. We split the content over 2 shows as there's lots to digest. So it might be worth popping over onto YouTube, where you can also take a look at the items that we are talking about.
Also, the end of the shoe section might end a bit abruptly, and the apparel section might start without an intro. Apologies for this. It's just the way the chat went. Hopefully you enjoy our chat with Rowan from Adidas Terrex.
An Adidas Terrex jacket saved my life on Sunday because I was doing this trail race and the visibility was so poor. And I was following a guy in one of the jackets because they are really, they're not fluorescent, are they? But they're really bright in low visibility. And I could just see him. I was like, don't take your eyes off him on the ridge. I was like, there he goes. I haven't seen anyone in them before, like live. Like actually running, so you don't wear rain jackets much in races, do you? But was that?
No. But obviously with rain jackets in particular, and obviously sort of rain pants as well, depending on the trail race you're going to be doing, there'll be mandatory kit requirements, and they might stipulate that you have to have a rain jacket or waterproof trousers, which, you might not use, but you have to carry it with you. Yeah. So the focus for a lot of our apparel, particularly jackets and pants, has been about weight saving as much as possible and packable size. You don't want to be carrying something that's really bulky on your back, take up a lot of space, but also weigh you down. So we've really stripped and refined the apparel to make it as lightweight but still high performing as possible, and also bright and out there so that you can be seen. Exactly as you said. So what I will do essentially, I'll start by just giving a quick overview of the apparel. So if we've got a triangle of our running apparel. At the top of that triangle, you've got the Agravic Pro garments. So they are top-notch, race-ready, inspired by our pro athletes. A lot of feedback, a lot of testing has gone on by our elite athletes into the sort of production of these garments. That is at the Pro. So really race-ready, stripped down, lightweight, high-performing. Obviously, going to cost a bit more. Yeah. But beneath that, you've just got the Agravic range. So you've got Agravic Pro at the top. Beneath that, you've got Agravic. Yeah. They're slightly still high performance, more athlete inspired rather than sort of, elite athlete inspired. They take a lot of the DNA from our top jackets, but into a more of affordable price point. So rather than looking at a jacket that might be £250, you're looking at a fully waterproof jacket that's going to be around about the 130 price point. Okay. And then beneath that, we have our sort of functional trail running apparel, which is more, you can be used for road running, you can be used for lifestyle, you can relax in it. It's got big Terrex branding, it's nice and funky. So that's what the pyramid of our...
You're always looking for funky, aren't you, Gary, when you dress in, hang there.
I love it, funky apparel, yeah.
Yeah, something that stands out, but is also, still high performance, but is also suitable as a lifestyle.
Yeah, you can wear to the pub. Not that I have to get to the pub.
Yeah. So what I'll start with, if you can kind of see me on the camera, I'll start with this rain jacket. So this is the Agravic Pro rain jacket. Yeah. £250. So it is right at the top of the price point of our trail running waterproof jackets. What you're getting is a 3-layer rain ready, which is an Adidas owned technology waterproof jacket, fully taped seams. Yeah. It's got a hydrostatic, knocking a shoe off. It's got a hydrostatic head of what exceeds 10,000 millimeters. So it's going to keep you perfectly dry for pretty much any type of trail running conditions that you're going to get stuck in. But what we've done with this jacket is used an ultra fine, so it's got a 10 denier Hazamo yarn, so it's a really fine but also durable yarn that is spun, so it makes it really, really, really lightweight, super packable, but also durable for such a light jacket, because you can make it light, make it packable, but then it won't be very durable, won't be very hard wearing.
Yeah.
It's where that yarn, that really fine yarn comes into play. This jacket has, as with a lot of our trail rings, it's got a packet pocket.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Those people like to pack all the garments into a little compartment. They can do that with this. By open it out. Inside the jacket, you're going to get an elasticated hem. So it's going to sit nicely around your waist. So it's not flapping around, blowing around in the wind. You have a half elasticated cuff to it as well. So essentially it fits nicely against your wrist and stops moving around as much as possible. And because it's elasticated, it just sits a bit closer to the skin to prevent the sort of the wind blowing up through an extra bit of protection. The black bits are all the taped seams for the inside of the jacket. But one of the things that makes this a trail running specific jacket is the back. So what we've got with the jacket at the back, we've got a back plate. So this section where the Adidas 3 stripes are is a stretchy material, extra stretchy material that can fit over your race pack.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
You must be one of the first people that have done that, because I
Imagine-
cursed many jackets.
You imagine you got your race
And
pack.
you went out like this.
Exactly. When this is full, you've got your water bottles, you've got your gels, you've got extra layers, whatever it is in there. It could be quite a bit of a lump on your back. Most jackets you're going to really struggle to fit over. You're going to have to take your race vest off, get your jacket out, put your jacket on, put your race vest back over the top of it. This has been designed so that it'll fit over the race vest and it'll accommodate the race vest underneath without adding extra material to the back of the jacket. So that's what we've gone for. Hence why it's the Gravic Pro rain jacket, full on, out and out racing jacket where you don't want to be stopping, wasting some time by taking your vest off, putting it back on, putting your jacket on. This can just go straight out the back of your race vest, over your body, and away you go when you need
Well,
it.
I love that. That's a great feature. That's fantastic. And what kind of weight are you looking at for that jacket?
So you're kind of looking at around about 180, between 170 and 180 grams for this. So, it's still pretty lightweight for a 3-layer waterproof running jacket.
Yeah.
We've added flaps, ventilation flaps to the side of the jacket.
Yeah.
You know how sweaty a running jacket gets when you're moving. So, there's enough overlay and enough flap. Rain's not going to come up through the jacket, but it can allow the heat out of the jacket.
Is there a woman's fit to that, or is it unisex?
No, so there is a women's fit to this, which will become slightly smaller. The women's fit in the hood has a bit of a extra pleat within the hood, so that you imagine when you put your hood up, say you've got long hair and you've got a big ponytail.
Gary, this is for you. You need
all Gary's hair.
Need the women's jacket.
It can accommodate your ponytail at the back and not be too tight. So there's just a bit of extra stretch for in the female hood. Right at the bottom of the jacket, we've got what looks like just an extra bit of material, an extra flap. Some people might be a bit curious to what this is. But with our Gravic Pro and our Gravic all-around trail running shorts, they have loops on them. So when you're not using your race poles, you can stow them in the back of your shorts.
Okay.
If you imagine this jacket and the poles that are sat at the back of your shorts, water will run down the jacket, hit the poles, and then just sort of sit there and maybe seep into your shorts and your back area. So what we've done is we put this little flap that essentially means the water runs down the jacket, hits the flap, and comes off and over the poles. A unique feature just to give you a bit of extra protection and keep you dry where your race poles sit.
Is there a little pocket or something so you could put your car keys if you're out for a run?
So there is literally a minimal to this jacket. So there is no pockets within it. Mainly being for this is the fact that we were hoping people would obviously combine it with our Gravic Pro trail running shorts, which have got a zip pocket and it sits within the waistband and it's a no bounce waistband, so that it means that you're not going to be flipping, moving your keys around within your jacket. So it's held nice and tight against your shorts.
Yeah.
How this is a very mother's question, but it's white, and I can imagine wearing that on the trails and it being not white ever again. How does it wash?
So it does wash pretty well, to be fair. As with any trail running or any high performance waterproof jacket, I wouldn't recommend washing it too regularly, but you can do the typical washes that you would do with a hiking jacket, where you just make sure that your washing machine is, had a clean, just rinse to get all the detergent out of it, and you use knit wax, Grangers, whatever it is, to wash the jacket and make sure it's clean. So you can do that absolutely fine with it. What I tend to do with it is just use water to get a lot of the mud and the muck that gets on.
Don't leave it scrunched up in like the boot of your car and then find it like when you next need it.
No. Just, you got to treat it with a bit of care.
For £250, yeah, I'd treat it with some care. My goodness.
Yeah.
And with the Agravic, do they have the pants as well in that range?
They do, yeah. So these here.
Never worn them, Gary. Have you ever put on waterproof trousers? I've had to carry them in many races. Never put them on.
No, exactly. So that's why with this, we wanted to make them as lightweight as possible. So around about 110 grams, these trousers are really, really thin. 2.5 layer. So you get 3 layer for the waterproof jacket.
Yeah.
1.5 layer for the trousers. Fully taped seams. Elasticated waist with drawstrings, so you can tighten them up nice and quick fit.
It just gets more attractive.
There is a zip on the side, so obviously you're going to have to take your shoes off to put them on, which is great. And they're slightly elasticated around the bottom, just to give a bit of extra fit, and they're not going to be moving around and flapping in the wind as much as possible. There is a knee, sort of it is a bit of a flap with a bit of mesh under there. So it's all about, if you imagine going up a really steep incline, you want as much freedom as movement from the pant. You don't want to be restricted. So that's why they put this flap across the front.
Yeah.
One, to allow some heat out, but 2, to allow as much maximum range of motion as possible. But at the end of the day, as you've said, you might not wear them. You want them to be really packable.
But you want them. You want to know they're there, don't you? I mean,
exactly. So if you ever get into any trouble, when you might have to walk back from where you are, because you might gone over a bit on your ankle, you want to have the protection to as dry and warm as possible. But you can pack them again into a nice small bag that can fit into your race pack.
Again, is there a female version of that to the men, or is it unisex?
No, there's a female version as well. Yeah. Which will obviously go down to slightly smaller, slimmer.
Yeah, the waist.
Yes.
Yeah. And was that a separate pack, or was that actually sewn into the back of the trousers there, the stuff sack?
So yeah, no, it's sewn in, so it's always there. Okay. Yeah, just a mesh, tiny little mesh pack that just is sewn into the back of the pant. Yeah.
And what was the retail cost for those?
£110 for these, waterproof trousers.
Ooh.
As I said, with this jacket, this was the top of the range 3-layer waterproof jacket. There is one, as I said, below that, that's a more affordable price, around about 130 price point.
Okay.
It carries the same tech in terms of a 3-layer, a 2.5 layer waterproof garment with a PU membrane to it. So it's going to still keep you dry. Not quite as lightweight as you'll probably get with this jacket, and not quite as durable, but it still is a fully functional trail running jacket that you can need for whenever you're out on the trails, but it's not going to cost you as much money.
Awesome. So yeah, it's not quite, but roughly half the price of the the other model.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what else is there? A wind jacket too?
So the wind jacket. So I've gone for the more.
That's the one. That's the one that saved my life. That's it.
So I've gone for the more commercial price point wind jacket. So there is a version of this which sits within the pro category. Yeah. So really, really thin, super lightweight wind jacket. But I've gone for one that is a more commercial price point, more sort of accessible for most people that would buy whether they wanted to use this as a road running jacket, a lightweight windproof jacket just for hiking, or whether they wanted to use it for a windproof sort of trail running jacket. You get the big Terrex branding on the back and the 3 stripes on the front, so it just screams Adidas, which is great. It shows up. You can you can be seen from a long way away, and people know that that's an Adidas jacket, which is great. But it's got wind-ready technology, so essentially this is going to be 100% a windproof upper or front to the whole jacket. So it's going to keep the wind from piercing through, keep you as sort of as warm as possible on those colder, chillier days. Yeah. It is treated with a durable water repellency, so it's going to bead off to an extent, but it's not a waterproof jacket at all. It's definitely just made for those sort of windy, chillier days. You've got, if you can kind of see, there is a sort of a mesh underneath the arm.
Sweat mesh. Sweat mesh,
yeah, exactly. It's all about breathability with it.
Adidas need me for all these technical terms.
That's what we should term it, yeah. You've got the wind protection throughout the rest of the jacket, and then you've got the breathability underneath the arms.
That's it, breathability.
Allow all the heat out of the jacket, but still protect you from the cold, piercing wind that might be hitting your body. So this jacket, if you look on the arm, get in the light a little bit, it says Adidas and then Parley.
Okay.
So this is the sustainability of this jacket. So the partnership with Adidas and Parley, so Parley for the oceans, the polyester that's used for this jacket is 100% Parley ocean plastic. So it's, upcycled plastic ocean waste. It's then been shredded, refined, turned into high performance polyester, and then put into a performance running jacket, and that's where this comes into play. We've got the high collar, and then the pocket is just backed with a mesh pocket, just to make it as lightweight as possible, not restricted with any extra materials to it. So what you're getting is a really good, lightweight, slightly breathable around the arms to let a bit of heat out, but also protective, windproof jacket for the trail runs that you might come across.
And what was the cost for that one, Rowan?
So you're looking at around about £65 for this wind jacket. Yeah.
And I forgot to ask earlier, the second rain jacket you showed us, did that have the kind of increased volume at the back of the jacket for a backpack, or no?
No, so that one doesn't. Yeah. So this one is made of so the Gravik Pro rain jacket is made of 100% polyester.
Yeah.
The one beneath this, so the Gravik rain jacket, is made of nylon.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the back pleat to it, so it doesn't have a stretch to it.
Yes.
It has a hood, still a nice fitted hood.
Yeah.
It's a half layer waterproof jacket. Still, the waterproofness of it in terms of the hydrostatic head exceeds 10,000, so it's still going to keep you really dry. But rather than a super breathable 3-layer fabric, which this is, you've got a 2.5 layer, which is maybe slightly less breathable than the 3-layer fabrics.
Cool. Shorts. Should we move on to shorts?
Shorts, yeah. What have I done with my shorts? Here we go. So these,
I've never found the perfect running short ever.
No? Okay.
This is a challenge.
Here we are then.
We should give these a go. Yeah. So these, the Gravik Pro short. One of the unique selling points of these shorts is definitely the waistband. As I said with the jacket, in terms of the Gravik Pro jacket, storage, nothing there. It's not designed to hold anything. It's designed to just put on a bit of coverage, take back off when you need it. Whereas the shorts, you're going to keep them on for the whole run.
Get the kids in there.
Yeah. What you're getting is it's quite a thick waistband.
Yeah.
So some men that maybe are not used to a slightly thicker waistband might find it a little bit unusual to begin with. But once they load it up with gels, keys, phone, whatever they need to store in it, they'll understand why it's quite a thick waistband, hence why we call it no waist.
Yeah.
Women, take women's leggings, for example. It's quite...
We love it. We love it. The more you can put in stuff, the better.
Yeah, they like
terribly stereotypical, but it's true.
So they might be more used to it. But what you're getting with that slightly thicker waistband is these kind of mesh pockets.
Yeah.
See it here. So if you imagine when these shorts are tight, you've got these mesh storage where my fingers are.
Yeah.
You've got them around your waist. You've got these mesh storage pockets, which ends up being quite tight. You can shove gels, energy bars, whatever you kind of need to around.
Do they wrap from the side to all the way around the front, or is it just on the side?
So yeah, they do wrap round from the side all the way around to the front. Yeah. Okay. So you're pretty much loaded around your whole shorts with some area to store gels, energy bars, anything like that. And then at the back, you've got a zip.
Yep.
So the zipper it can stretch to accommodate, I don't know what the biggest mobile phones are these days, but it can stretch to accommodate a decent sized mobile phone if you want to obviously put it in the back there, or your car keys, your wallet, whatever you want that's maybe a bit more valuable that you want to securely zip in and secure it there. And then the pole loops, which sit at the back. So you've got two of them.
Okay.
Poles, when you fold your poles up, you want to maybe not put them into your race vest.
Yeah.
Just store them into your back of your shorts. So they're nice and stretchy, good amount of elastin in there. You just shove your race poles in there. And because of the thickness of the waistband, how it sits around your waist, they don't flop up and down.
That was my next question, was like, how does that not pull your shorts down?
Yeah. It does hold them pretty snug and tight against your back to stop them moving as much as possible without them obviously dropping.
Everyone behind you going, oh, madam.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the liner? Is it just a brief or?
So yeah, it's got a brief liner, which I've just pulled out. So, if you're like me and you like having just a liner and that's how you wear them, great. But you can wear, some underwear underneath there if you need to. But the liner's designed that you don't need to have any underwear underneath if you don't want to. It's a nylon material, but it's interweaved with a lot of elastin into it, so it's really stretchy and there's no restriction to your movement. So both the men's and women's ones. So the women's ones have an ever so slightly higher waistband, and they're a snug fit, they're a tighter fit to it. So more like a half tight in terms of material. So they're a tight material, which are quite tight against the leg. But the functionality of the short is very, very similar in terms of what they offer. They just fit tight rather than flapping around. So some women can use technically the men's short if they want to, but then if they want the tighter version, they can actually go for the women's short.
What's that material like when it gets wet?
So it is pretty good. It doesn't hold and absorb too much water, and it's been designed to make it really thin and lightweight that any water that it does hold will just dry as quickly as possible from it, so that you're not going to have really soggy shorts that are just going to stick against. Yeah, so that's what they've gone for with these. And we use a term called body mapping. So if you imagine going in the lab and you look at your body, areas of maybe where you need protection, say on your chest from the cold, and breathability, maybe under your arm, on your back. They've done the same sort of body mapping concept with these shorts. So if you were to look at them closely, down the front and the back of the short, it's a bit of a finer knit to it. So there's a bit more extra protection down the front of the short here. Whereas if you look at the side, it's a sort of a wider knit, more open, all about breathability, allowing the heat out the short. So you're getting that protection at the front where you kind of want it, but then the breathability on the sides to let all the heat out, make the short sort of as breathable as possible. So you're looking at £63 for these.
Okay.
There is a version called the all-around short, which is rather than nylon, it uses polyester, polyocean plastic in it. Yep. Very, very similar in terms of the high no bounce waistband, the race poles, but it sits slightly at a bit more of an affordable price point. You're looking at around about £50 for those shorts compared to the pro shorts, which are 63.
And what's the length like? Are they short shorts? Or are they kind of?
They're definitely not short. You can kind of see they're 4-inch shorts, so a good amount of coverage, but not too long that it looks like you're.
Gary, those would be trousers for you. So you.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I like a 4-inch short. That'd be all right. Get my thighs out.
They might look longer than they actually are, but because of the high waistband,
that's actually sitting.
It'll actually sit. It'll sit higher.
Cool. I like the look of those. I've never used poles. Is this something you've used, Eddie?
Well, yeah, that's what I hadn't. No, yeah, I use them every single day, all the time. Skiing, cross-country skiing.
Yeah.
I think as like if you live out in the mountains all the time, obviously you use them all winter as well, so they become really natural. And then I have not shorter races. I don't, but I wouldn't do over like 4 or 5 hours without them, mainly for protection as well, to bat off people.
Fans.
Get out of my way.
Excellent. Can we move on to the running vest? I suppose that's I'm really curious to this, but I suppose that might be a new direction for Adidas, at least, like going to the kind of running vest side of the running range.
Sure. Yeah. So this is what we've got. This is a small. So if you're looking at it going, it looks really tiny. That's why it's nice. But what you've got here, so this is called the Terrex Prime Blue Graphic, hence the graphic all over it.
Yeah.
Graphic trail running vest. So it's a lightweight, good amount of breathability to it, but excellent storage where you want it. So we look at the front. You've got bungees as the attachments. These can be moved and positioned where you want.
Okay. Yeah.
So at the minute, they're at the top and sort of one from the bottom, but you can move them depending on where you want the height of them. You can just unloop them, loop them back on. So you can fiddle around with the positioning to get them as comfortable as possible, or as sort of snug and tight locking in as possible. And what they do is they just hook on. So they just hook over and then attach. So really quick and easy to undo and tighten up when you need, but because they're elasticated, they give that nice tight fit across the chest to stop the jacket, or the vest, from moving. You've got 2 big soft flask pockets at the front.
Yeah.
They will go in here. Above it, you've got 2 shorter, sort of less deep pockets for any gels, snacks, whatever you want to put. There is a whistle here that is just built into the jacket. And then you've got at the bottom 2 slightly larger extra storage pockets for whatever you might need.
Yeah.
On the right-hand side, there is a zip. So there is a zipper. So if you're going to be putting your small, lightweight trail running mobile phone, you can put it into the jacket, or your car keys, or your wallet, whatever's any valuable. You definitely want to zip that in. Yeah. You've got a zip option for you there. When you get to the rear of the jacket, you've got the 3 stripes that are nice and reflective. There's a popper on either side at the back, the lower back I'm talking about here. And it's just a bit like a hoodie, the pocket at the front of a hoodie. You just can shove your garments in there. So whether that's your waterproof jacket, your trousers.
Yeah, you can put your gloves in there.
That's gloves. Yeah, exactly.
You want to put away, but I always have to put it in that one.
Yeah, being lowered down, nice and easy.
Yeah.
You can just shove them in. You just popper it back up, really quick, easy, just to secure it in. And it's very, very stretchy. So there's quite a bit of elastin in this vest, just so it can stretch as much as possible and accommodate the items that you put in. But then we also do have another pocket at the top here, so you can shove, if it's a really, really hot day and you're going through an aid station and you want to put some ice down the back of the vest, you can do, or you can just use it as an extra storage for any of your sort of items that you want to take with you.
And would that be, I know it's something kind of going back to the Lakeland 100, there's quite a lot of kit you need to stick in your vest. What the litre, I suppose, the storage capacity of that vest?
Yeah, I personally don't know, and it hasn't been told to me in terms of the litre capacity, the storage of this, but you can definitely fit pretty much most snacks that you would want for an ultra race before.
He knows how much snacks. Yeah, I couldn't fit.
Yeah, your aid station. But a base layer, a water jacket, an extra layer, thermal layer, all of that can easily fit within this race vest. Yeah, I don't personally know the volume, the litres of the storage, unfortunately.
And would it come with the soft flasks, or are they an additional extra?
So some retailers, I think, will put them in there, but others won't. So it's entirely where you're shopping from. But you don't have, so you won't get a Terrex branded soft flask coming in there, for example.
I see. Okay, that's interesting. And what would that retail for?
So this is 130. It is prime blue as well. So the same with a lot of our other pieces of apparel. The polyester, which is within this, is around 79% polyester. The rest sort of elastin. It is all Ocean plastic that is used within the vest. So it's got that sustainability to it. There are other versions of these vests with maybe less storage at the back, just more breathability, slightly for the shorter trail races, which are going to be cheaper as well. But this is our main sort of racing trail running vest.
What I really like is the where my vests have fallen apart before is having undone and open the straps so many times they fall apart. But those look much more durable.
Yeah,
and they look like something that you could probably replace. The Adidas, if you like contacted and went, I need a new strap there. Yeah, they look like, you know, that they're not going to fall apart mid-race.
No, they're quite thick, very sponges, which will take a lot of wear and tear. Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it. So
perfect.
Thanks very much.
Wow, Rowan, thank you so much. That's you can have a CS now after all that information.
Good job with press record, Eddie. Imagine doing that
all over again.
That was wonderful. We went through some shoes, and then we went through the apparel too. Definitely the pro rain jacket with the kind of, so you could put it on.
Everything down. I'm putting it all on my birthday list.
I think we'll stretch that out over 2 shows. Actually, there's quite a good content for our listeners there. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
No, you're up. Yeah, thanks for having me. And you know, all of these items are available across all the different retailers. So just have a little shop around, do a bit of research, and have a listen to what I was talking about, and then just refer it to what you're seeing on there. You can kind of get an idea of what the products have got to offer. So it's good.
It's one for YouTube, this show, I think, Eddie. We need to. It's more.
If you're just listening to it, you're probably completely lost.
Well, I was fascinated. I never listened about kit so much. Normally, I just get what's given to me and I wear it. I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
Awesome. Well, you take care. Thanks a lot, Rowan.
Thank you, Rowan.
Yeah, thanks both. Cheers.
Bye.
Yeah.